hello everybody, and welcome back to Code's Corner K2 Episode 3. Uh, the
This is what we would call a cold opening if there was one.
yeah, if there was one. Uh, welcome back to the mission where the party solves the mystery way earlier than I thought they would.
Oh, really? Wait, is that an actual thing?
Yeah,
Did we solve this?
yeah. I had that whole map of the town, and you guys skipped over almost all of it. Like, went to like 3 places. And then you were like, "Oh, let's just go to this random ravine off in the middle of nowhere. Oh, look, it's a
Well, you told us
sacrificial site."
it was there, and we were like,
Well, because you
or at
guys
least I was like,
went through like all of the details, you got like a bunch of crits on your research check. So I was like, well, I gotta give him something that's worth the crit. So
this is kind of sus for there to be a giant ravine. So,
but yeah, I'm your host, Cloris, joined today by the Imperator, who plays Jason Van Helsing. Mr. McFunkster playing as Zhuzhen, and Battlecock should be arriving shortly. And unfortunately, Nem, who plays Nix and Yuna, will not be here today due to yard work requirements, also
thank
known as
fuck.
slavery. That being said, of course, last time the group heard about this, they fought off a gator pede at the beginning of the episode.
We did, yes.
You skinned it. Busterbrook took it as a trophy. And then you guys were like, all right, now we're going to go to the other place. So you guys went back to town for a bit, did some more investigating. You talked to Dr. Aiden Weeks, who is an anthropologist who's been staying in the area. You questioned him on some of the locals, on the earthquakes. He gave you some information, but you asked the wrong questions to an anthropologist, so he didn't give you very much. And then you guys warned him about the monsters in the area. He was like, oh yeah, thanks for that. And then you guys were on your way to the ravine where you found a bunch of stuff. You guys looked around, found this like temple area with like all the bloody altar and stuff. And you guys were on top. Somebody cast a spell, made a wall of earth that almost pushed you guys off into the pit. You guys did some experimenting with the pit, throwing stuff down there, shooting at it, throwing torches and stuff. Heard some strange sounds, but that's about it. Between sessions, some things have changed. Most notably, GVH, have an ability called Reality Sense, where you roll a perception check and I can tell you on a scale of 1 to 10 how stable the local reality is.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I don't have to worry about doing that myself. You can just ask me whenever you want to use it, and you can use it, no cooldown. It's not on, it doesn't need a spell slot or anything. It's just an innate thing you can do as a champion.
Nice.
So that'll come in handy. And then in terms of, I also updated Nyx and Yuna's sheets a little bit. I gave Nyx the Bone Fairy night vision because she's an unseelie fae for one, and also like her job is to work during the nighttime. So I figured I'd give her night vision. So she's the only party member who can see in the dark, without magic anyway. And then I gave Yuna the sleep spell, in addition to her toothache spell, so she can do a little bit more stuff while she's in the canister. Not that that matters, because she's not here. As you can see by...
Man, how convenient it would be for her to be here right now.
I know, you just cast sleep on both enemies you can see right now, and then combat over, you've captured a vampire. And a monster.
Essentially.
So you guys read stuff, went to the ritual site, got a cast spell casted near you. You managed to narrowly escape, albeit a very slow reaction. And then you guys found like a hidden door in this little ziggurat. You guys climbed down some stairs. You walked through a little prison area into through a tapestry curtain and into what looked to be the middle of a transmutation ritual as this weird-looking priest guy, dressed in very fine golden robes, golden headdress, body paint, was dunking an innocent villager into like a weird well, a weird like alchemical substance.
Now, I wouldn't go as far as to say he's innocent.
Innocent villager.
I wouldn't say he's innocent.
Innocent villager.
I don't think innocent is the correct word here.
As innocent as an
He was
infant.
here. He was possibly here on his own free will. So I don't know about that whole innocent thing.
And this is the. He's very specifically a Cipactli priest. But here is the art for the guy.
Mm. Mm.
So that's what he looks like. And he's dunking innocent villager number 1 into a well. And the villager, at the very end of the last episode, began to horribly transmutate. And then combat started. So you all rolled initiative. I can stream my screen again.
All right.
And then also I've updated like the initiative and stuff because
Sick.
I needed
What
some
was the
refinement.
initiatives?
Well, the fairies aren't here anymore, so actually I can get rid of them.
They have been banished to the Shadow Realm.
That is not the.
Yes.
Eh. So yeah. So the fairies are no longer here. So in that case, up first is an unseen enemy who's in this wall.
Sick.
He's going to. He moves underground. He goes here. Actually, he's going to come up from underneath Boston Brook. So in that case, so you guys, you all draw your weapons, and this priest guy looks over at you guys in surprise and shock and awe. And then,
Understandable.
as you guys
We
lunge
are pretty
forwards,
awe-inspiring.
yeah, you are pretty inspiring. As you all, had this motley crew of priest, fairies, British guy, British old guy, American average-aged man, and giant chicken.
A pretty awe-inspiring group, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. So, as you guys lunge forward, the ground underneath Boston Brook, the very nice tile floor, explodes upwards.
Oh no.
As another kind of mutant alligator crocodile creature erupts from under the ground. So I need Boston Brook to make a contested strength check against the monster. Boston Brook got a 7. Monster got a 2. Wow. I'm pretty sure that Boston Brook beats that. Boston Brook
I thought
he
you
is
were gonna
holding his
say, I'm pretty sure Monster's just dead.
yeah, Monster is deceased. Boston Brook straight up rips it in half with his bare hands. Boston Brook, he is holding his sword. So he got a total of 14. Yeah, the arrow is not strong enough to. He doesn't have a 12 strength. He cannot beat that. So the ground explodes underneath Boston Brook as a horrible monster tries to constrict him and fails, and as such is pushed off to the.
Bitch, get off me.
Yeah, so this is the thing. I can also put the image in Discord as well. The Arrow of Cipactli is its name.
Cipactli.
There we go. That is the arrow. The arrow.
Like
a half
just
snake.
a fucking snake.
Yeah, snake crocodile thing.
Fantastic. All these crocodiles. I'm wanting some gator nuggets.
Hey man, Cipactli is the alligator fish frog god. So
I'm going to turn this thing into gator nuggets.
So that's the arrow's turn. Great job, buddy. You tried.
Fantastic.
In that case, up next it is the Vampire Priests. The fairies would have been going right now and could have stopped this, but what do you know? He sucks. Uh, so
Fair enough.
the arrow bursts out of the ground and and it tries to like coil around Boston Brook, but he already has his hand on his sword, so he just like flexes his biceps, and the giant snake alligator guy flies away. Gets shoved back. In response to this, Vampire Priest promptly turns around and books it.
Uh,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then he could sprint. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
can he jump into that
6.
pit and live?
That is a good question. Probably not because of what's down in the middle of the pit. But if the
Fair
monster
enough.
down there wasn't down there, he has so much health he might survive. I don't know. So he
So he's still within eyeshot of me.
uses his sprint ability, and then he casts Wall of Earth.
Didn't he just use both of his turns?
No, so he has an 8 agility, and he has vampires get sprints, so they can move double their agility in one
Motherfucker.
action. So there is now a wall of dirt that blocks the whole hallway right here. Same style as the one that was on the altar as well. So he basically like closes the door on you. Basically, he runs through, and then he mutters some strange words in what you assume to be like Aztec.
Don't I have things that can prevent this?
No. The counter spell is if it is targeting something. I think.
Oh, okay.
It needs to be like like at somebody, or this is just like a thing he can do. He could have also like, burrowed under the ground, but he chose to book it into the big scary pit.
Well, at least we know he's in there now.
Yeah, you did see him go in there. You and Bossbrook both did. And then so that's
The question is he going to burrow? And hopefully the answer will not surprise me.
Yeah, guys.
And the answer is no.
Breaks the door down and he's just gone.
I'd cry.
Let's see. That's Vampire Priest. Up next is Battlecock. All right. Let's see. What's his personality gonna be? What's me roll a 10 right now? I'll be so upset. Okay, no. Only a 7.
Rolls a 0.
Yeah, he actually just goes full brain dead. He dies on the spot.
He becomes a normal chicken.
Yeah, 1 is a normal chicken. So 7 is a martial artist. So he is like his generic, most common personality.
Right.
He is not in melee of anyone. He can move through friendly creatures. So he will move through GVH and get into melee with the big snake crocodile, and then he will. He could internal rupture. He could bicycle kick. He could foot of the tiny dragon. He could internal rupture. He could paralyze the thing.
He could internal rupture. He could internal rupture. He could internal rupture.
He could round henhouse kick him, which would be pretty funny.
I think. Wait. So what are the possibilities here? Endless.
For the tiny dragon, bicycle kick, internal rupture, paralysis, and roundhouse kick, basically.
I'd put in a vote for Fist of the Tiny Dragon.
All right, for the tiny dragon, a single very powerful kick with one small chicken foot at the target in melee range. It does 3d 100 damage. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure Arrow can dodge. Yes, but he only has 1 reaction. In that case, for the tiny dragon might not be good because he'll probably dodge this because Crocodile Snake is fast.
Does it cost 2 actions?
No, but he has to use 1 action to move into melee.
Ah.
So in that case,
How unfortunate.
In that case, I'll use a bicycle kick because that's multiple attacks that he can't dodge all of, so it's guaranteed damage basically.
Very good, very good.
But the arrow will try to dodge one of them. He does barely, but he does. And in that case, Battlecock still gets off, I think, 2 other attacks. Yeah, 2 other attacks. So that is 1d8 times 10. Actually, no. Yeah, because I changed this. So he doesn't do only half of his agility stake, it's half of his agility plus 1. So he gets 3 attacks now instead of. Well, he gets 4 now instead of 3. So he gets 3 attacks that hit because he dodged 1. So that's 3d8 times 10 damage. That is 90 damage. So that's 3 armor checks on behalf of Crocodile Snake. So I'm pretty sure he has armor. He does, yes. Cool. He only passed 1, so I'll say he takes 40 damage. 40. Okay. So Babcock, runs through JVH's legs, and he runs up and he flares with his little wings into the air a little bit, and then he rapid fire kicks this weird mutant monster snake crocodile in the face repeatedly. That's Battlecock's turn. Who is up next? It is X. All right.
What did I roll?
For initiative, you got 15. So you are actually no. Yeah, you go now.
Oh, sick.
I forgot about that. So yeah. So you can see 2 enemies. So it's a villager, by the way. He is like writhing on the ground, mutating at a very rapid pace.
I can see the villager?
Yes, you can see the villager.
Can I just, one tap him in the head? So that's one less thing to fight?
I mean, you can.
Because I have my raillock pistol in my hand. How close am I to him?
He is 10 feet away.
Okay, I'm not really worried about the hit then, because this raillock can obviously do things that I had never dreamed of.
Okay, so give me a perception check then.
Alright. That is a 8. Good sir.
An 8. That certainly passes. Give me that 3d100.
Thick nasty. Shit. Alright, what do we got? 60, 60, and an 80.
200 damage.
Woohoo!
So you see this villager writhing on the ground, covered in this weird alchemical magic substance. You don't know what it is. It's like, mucousy green slime. And he's mutating, and his face is extending into and his teeth are extending and growing in number, and his eyes become amphibian and reptilian. Scales start growing out of his skin. His fingers and nails grow into very sharp claws and stuff. And you're like, oh, that's pretty bad. So you draw your real flintlock, and you fire at him, and it hits him right in the chest, and it blows a solid baseball-sized hole in his chest. Just.
We're talking borderline point blank here, so yeah.
Yeah, so it blows a giant hole in his chest, and the villager immediately stops groaning and screaming in pain.
Sick.
And he's just kind of standing there, shivering, and then his head snaps to look at you, and as he continues to mutate, you see the giant hole you put in his chest. Teeth grow into the hole and fill in the gap. It becomes a mouth that begins cackling at you, and you're like, "Oh, that's that's real bad."
Doesn't my sword have a secondary effect to it?
Yeah, against certain paranormal creatures and demons and stuff.
So is that just against demon?
I think it does extra damage against it's effectively a silvered weapon, so it does special damage to certain fey creatures, vampires, lycanthropes.
Interesting.
Yeah, these guys are not Any of those.
Not this man, but
Yeah, the vampire.
but the
Priest.
vampire man.
Yeah,
He's getting stabbed.
yeah.
I'm
You do
going
damage
to
to him.
engulf him in holy fire.
And Boston Brook's
But
sword bullet also does damage.
anywho, I'm gonna turn to Boston Brook and be like, "Hey, buddy, this is a problem."
Yeah,
um,
he turned to Boston Brook, who's like struggling to unsheath his sword, trying to fend off this weird giant snake crocodile. And by the way, the scales on this snake crocodile are like razor sharp. They look like arrowheads. So you figure
I'm
that
definitely
body,
making nuggets out of this thing.
you know, that body back at the cartel base that had the weird like cheese grater wound pattern was probably caused by this thing constricting around it and twisting him
Fair
up.
enough. Fair enough. Can I reload?
You can, yeah. That can be your second
And then-
action, is to
Okay.
because it is a one-shot weapon.
Yes.
In that case, now it is.
Yes,
X's turn.
indeed. The disadvantage of having a flintlock pistol,
Yeah,
you only get one shot.
precisely. X, what will he do? He could pick X, or he could do like an AoE.
What pick 6?
Or he could turn one into a babbling midget.
This is true. He could turn something into a babbling midget, but what is he going to turn into a babbling midget is the question.
I forgot that I gave him like gimmicks from like he stole that spell book from the Cosmic Horror mission, so he has different spells. So he can
This is
cast
true.
Ray of Sickness on one, which is a stunning attack basically. Or he could curse one of them, or he could create like magic wind that hurts people. Or he could use his magic revolver, or he could pick 6. Or he could use his
Pick
timepiece.
6.
Time magic.
Pick 6 definitely has the most damage threshold here. But it really all depends on whether we're going for a magical effect here. Like, do we want to turn this currently transmorphing crocodile person into a living dice roll, or do we want to absolutely liquefy the arrow? Like, the possibilities are endless here.
The possibilities are endless. Yeah, I guess he could use 3 shots at each of them. Spread
This
the
is
love
true.
around. So that's what he's gonna do. I think that makes the most sense to me. He's got so many shots, might as well use them.
3 with each hand.
Yeah, exactly. So the first 3 go against the arrow. Wow,
Is that a 10 or a 1?
that's 2 1s.
Oh god.
Let me. Do I?
Oh god. Oh god. You're hesitating and I don't like it.
Because I'm trying to figure out if. Because this is 2 1s in a row. I feel like this is cause for a wild magic surge. I feel like this is cause. So this could be good or it could be bad. You know.
It could also be very bad, and the literal fabric of the universe is destroyed. But hey, who am I to judge?
Yeah, you know. So I'm gonna roll 1d10,000,
Oh god.
and we're gonna see what happens. 2,470 is what I rolled.
Oh no.
2,100. 400? What did I say? 400? Yes, 400.
2,470.
Alrighty, let's see. 470. Oh, damage inflicted upon the caster is 10% likely to harm someone else.
Oh no.
So basically, if he gets hurt, I roll 1d10. If he gets a 10, then the damage is dealt to a random other creature in the area. Okay, that's marginally useful, I guess.
That's still scary because that could kill any one of us.
I mean, yeah, that's true. If the damage is high enough, he could kill somebody
Well, I mean,
else.
I won't die, but
Yeah, you can come back.
my friends.
But it could deflect on an enemy, which would be pretty funny.
This is
Um,
true. This is
he
very true.
does barely pass the third attack, so I will have him roll for this. He hits 1 against the arrow. 1d12. Oh, 90. And then he rolled an armor check. Actually, no, this is fire. What am I talking about? He failed anyway. Up to 130
Sick.
damage taken. And then he does 3 more checks against the Avatar of Cipactli. He hits all of those.
Hmm.
Actually, can the Avatar dodge?
Well, he's on the ground. He's prone. So,
Let's see.
yeah, no, the
He can
avatar's
dodge.
prone. It wouldn't matter.
He has a disadvantage. You still dodge when you're prone. You just do it at disadvantage. So you would have double disadvantage to dodge 2 of these attacks. He's going to use that.
Double disadvantage.
Yeah, that's worth it. Wow. Wow.
Did he pass his double disadvantage?
He got 2 10s and a 5 for the first one, so he has a pass. So I'll say that 9. I got 3 9s. Jesus. I'm really weird today. And the second
You
one,
are.
what's his agility? 7. He actually passes the second one too, despite the double disadvantage. He only takes
You're
90
just
more damage.
rolling in their favor.
Yeah. I also rolled really
Why can't
well
you roll like this for normal rolls? Like
Impossible
when
always does
Boston
really
Brooks
terribly.
rolling. Yeah.
He's dice cursed. The enemies, not so much. So X.
No, they're blessed.
Yeah. So X points his hand out at the arrow, and like the magic. Actually, I guess GBH, you feel reality kind of go a little bit wonky for a second as something strange happens that wasn't intended, and then a single really tiny fireball hits the arrow and kind of burns him a little bit. With his right hand, he reaches out towards the lizard guy, and 3 fireballs fire out, and they all hit the mark. Well, one hits the mark because despite being prone, this mutated humanoid manages to like roll out of the way of these fireballs, and one of them hits him square in the chest, and just poof, and it melts some of the skin and the remaining human flesh that's left on his body. As he continues to change.
That's not good.
Yeah, so he's taken damage. He is not bloodied, and neither is the arrow, I don't think. That's X's turn. Then it goes the Avatar. Yay! So Avatar Man, I have art for him, of course. And he is scary. He's a big boy. Not like large in size, but big boy in terms of power. He is powerful. Here we go. He is the Avatar of Cipactli. That's what he looks like.
Oh, he's just got mouths.
Yeah, that's his gimmick because he's got a lot of mouths.
What are they gonna do? Bite me?
Yeah, and they also help armor. So if you get into melee with him, you gotta make a check or take damage. So that's what he looks like. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do when he comes for you?
Miss.
He's
that's
going
fine.
to. Let's see. What's the situation look like for him? He's not in melee with anyone. He did see a chicken try to assault his friend. And he sees the 3 humanoids. He's
One that shot him.
gonna back up. First action. Second action. Steam Blast at Battlecock.
Oh no, not the cock.
So this requires a perception check from the avatar. All four elements, and we're lived in harmony. I got a 1. Never mind, he's not in harmony. So this crocodile guy, he extends, he backs up, kind of like bounding around on all fours, very animalistic, and he crouches down and he extends his palm. And you see that his palm has another a mouth in it, and the
Where's
mouth.
what's his name in all this?
Who?
Ramon.
Ramon? He's outside.
What?
Yeah, he's been outside the whole time. This mouth in the monster's palm opens up, and you hear this like breathing sound as his giant pressured burst of steam shoots out of this monster's hand, but it slams into the wall next to you in Battlecock, and it straight up destroys a part of the wall. That would have seriously hurt if it had hit somebody. We could have killed Battlecock outright. But he rolled a 1, so didn't really matter. That's his turn. Great job, buddy. So that is Avatar's turn. Up next is Boston Brook. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. It's the big man on campus.
Indeed, apparently.
So he draws Life's Limit, his blessed magical sword.
Oh, yep.
So he is now jacked Boston Brook. He is now Sir Boston Brook. So he draws his sword. He could use. This isn't super relevant. Yeah, so he won't do that yet. Don't want to waste an action. Let's see. Yeah, he's just gonna smack him with the sword. Smack the arrow 3 times.
Sick.
And the arrow can't dodge
With
any
the
of
sword?
these. Yeah, so this is just 15 100.
Oh God.
Yeah, I wish the boys were here to see this because I've only made his sword stronger. Where is the D100s? This is only 5, so I need. Jesus.
Is it dead?
I don't even know why I'm rolling, honestly. That
Is it dead?
820 damage. Oh my god.
Fuck.
820 damage. I'm almost certain that one-shots this guy. Where is his sheet? Oh yeah, he's got 500 health. Oh yeah. Over
Jesus.
almost twice killed. So his Boston Brook just draws his sword, have at thee, knave, and he just one swipe.
I was gonna say, would Boston Brook turn to the other the elemental and be like, the avatar, and be like, "Are you sure you want to go through with this?"
Nah, he's like, no, these are animals. He's a monster hunter. He's in his element right now. So
Well, as long as I get to make nuggies out of the arrow, we're chilling.
Yeah. So Boston Brook, he takes one swipe and he cuts the thing's like a mouth in half, horizontally, left to right.
Yeah.
And then his second swipe, he cuts it across the side, and he disembowels it. And then the third strike, the monster tries to jump forwards towards him. So Buster gets on his knees and cuts the thing straight in half from nose, top to tip, all the way down.
Now he better not have endangered the cuts.
I mean, he totally bisected it. So yes and no.
So I better get some prime cuts from this. I want those nuggets.
So he just...
I know people.
Just straight up bisects this monster. That is only his first action, technically.
Good.
Because he is literally ridiculous.
A god.
Yeah. He's the glassiest cannon I've ever made. Second action...
essentially.
Second action, he's going to... He could move or he could, shoot somebody. Or he could use a buff.
Or he could, yes.
Or he could heal somebody, but nobody's taken damage yet.
But we're about to.
Yes.
Well, wait. I go before the
Yeah, you go
Avatar,
before the
right?
Avatar. Yeah,
Sick.
Avatar goes before, because after you and X and Battlecock. Only person he goes before is Osterbrook, so he might survive.
I don't think so.
Or he could cast a spell. Nah, this is Sir Osterbrook. He doesn't cast spells. He's gonna run towards him.
He's literally a charging paladin. I don't know what the fuck you're
basically
talking
just a
about.
paladin. He's like, you know what? Nah, sword time. So he just rushes this guy. That's Osterbrook's turn. Back to the top of the turn, or Toinoida. The arrow is gone. What? Why don't I just delete? Oh, the avatar.
Everything.
The avatar. The avatar is. Oh my god. And these should counters all screwed up. Well,
oh no.
I'll put avatar down here. Avatar is 10. I know what it is. I just things are goofing up. What? Yeah, things are big goof. But that's undo. Again. There we go. So yeah, obviously the arrow is dead. Next would be Vampire Priest, but he's scampered away in the other room. Then it is Battlecock's turn. Runs forward, first action. Second action. Now this guy did use. No, he didn't use the reactions yet. That was previous combat round. Okay. So actually, I have to roll for personality first. Good old Battlecock. Because I could roll the Butcher. I don't. 7 again. So he's still a combat monk man. Tibetan monk chicken. In that case, I think his bicycle kick is on cooldown. Anyway. Where is the Battlecock? He's down more? He's down more. Here we go. He will. He'll foot a tiny dragon. Sure.
Yeah.
This is 3 key points from him on top of the 2 that I used before. So he's down to. I have to find a sheet. Battlecock. So he used 2 for bike kick. Using 3 for that. He uses 5 down to 11 key points for the day. So he will. So this requires strength check from Battlecock. An 8 definitely passes. The avatar can dodge. Unsurprisingly, he does. So Battlecock, he runs up and he jumps in the air, and his right leg becomes supercharged with glowing chi energy, and he tries to flying sidekick to this guy. But the avatar is simply too fast and too furious to be harmed by Battlecock's singular.
He's
kick.
thinking about family.
Yeah, he's thinking about family. The reptilian family. This is Battlecock's turn. Battlecock. Up next is X. X doesn't have to move, so he's not going to. He is, of course,
correct.
The mage. He's going to get ganked.
He does not need to move.
So he will. He could pick 6 again, or be something else.
This is true. What would the something else be that he can do?
That doesn't have an effect. Have an effect. Have an effect. Have an effect. Really could. Ooh, this actually could be good. He could curse the Avatar, give him disadvantage to all of his checks, so he gets a disadvantage to dodging, which
That
could
is
be
good.
So he will do
Well,
that.
I mean, he just passed a dodge on
Yeah.
double disadvantage.
Well, no, he didn't hit the disadvantage on that one because he stood up. So he's unhindered, and this is a melee attack, so he doesn't get it because he only has 7 agility, so he has disadvantage on ranged attacks, and he was prone at the time, so that's another disadvantage. So now he has nothing because it was a melee attack and he's standing now.
And now he's got single disadvantage.
No, he has nothing disadvantage because it wasn't a ranged attack. Battlecon made a melee attack.
Well, no, I'm saying, but X just put a curse on him.
Yeah, so X will put a curse. This isn't concentration. Oh, it is. I'm going to change that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, X, he pulls out from like a book holster. He flips through one of the pages that he stole from those cultists back in the day. That's all like covered in weird, gross goo still. And he mutters some strange, ever-shifting words in a spell-casting language unknown to all of you except for X. And he points towards the Avatar, and this kind of weird, like starlight night, like beam, kind of like God Ray almost, but like darkness ray, cast down upon the Avatar, and he is cursed for a minute. AKA
that's a lot of time
for the rest of this man's life. Yeah.
that's a lot of time in terms of combat.
Yeah, that's 10 combat turns. Our fights last like 2. So that's because Boston Brook is simply a one-hit monster. That's only his first action for X.
Oh man, wait until we get a hold of that Vampire Priest.
I feel like X wants to take out that wall because he knows that Boston Brook is going to handle that Avatar pretty soon.
Well, the whole thing is like I don't know if I want to just kill the Vampire Priest or if I want to banish him.
Well, you can't. They're native to the materia realm, so I guess you could banish it to a random spot on Earth, but that wouldn't.
Well, I mean,
him.
I'm saying in the same way that I banished the immortal, Eldritch Horror.
Kill him.
In the same regard. We didn't really kill the Eldritch Horror, we just banished it to another mortal realm.
Well, yeah, you guys like. Well, I'm pretty sure he did die, didn't he? Because after you stopped the ritual, like the Great Martyrs, like lasered him from the
sky.
No,
they took him, picked him up, and took him to another realm. That was not of this mortal plane.
Yeah. They banished him to the Unbeheld.
Yes. So now it's just sitting in the Unbeheld, being tortured for the rest of its existence.
You're like, oh well.
Well, no, because now it would be an unending light. Like it's just perpetually in light.
So he got teleported to the elemental realm of light.
Essentially, yeah.
Great.
It would not have gotten sucked into a holy light if it was not in a realm of light.
Yeah, true. I feel like X is also going to. I think he wants to buff Battlecock because, like, if that steam blast that hit Battlecock would have instantly killed him. So
that would not have been fun.
Yeah, so he's going to give.
But but we would have seen X in his demon I guess form. Quote unquote pure demon form.
Yeah, when the demon in his brain possesses his body and mutates him temporarily. So he's going to Devil's Soothe Battlecock. So he talks in a demonic infernal tongue that both Boston Brook and GVH also speak. Fun fact.
Hey, what's he saying?
He says
what that boy saying?
Whatever the verbal component for Devil's Soothe. Probably like something along the lines of like may the sin of wrath bless your mind and uncloud it from the throes of pain or whatever, some esoteric infernal nonsense.
That's nice.
And he blesses, quote unquote, blesses Battlecock. So Battlecock takes half
He
damage.
unblesses.
Yeah,
He unblesses.
yeah. He corrupts Battlecock's immortal soul, souls. And Battlecock takes half of all damage for the next 3 turns. So I will take note of that via a D4 next to Battlecock. He's got 3 combat turns of that. This fight probably won't last that long.
Probably not.
So that's his turn. Then it is JV8.
Hey, look, it's me. It's the guy. It's
The man, the myth, the legend.
me. So we're essentially out of combat, correct?
No, the Avatar is still here.
Well, yes, but do you really think it's going to survive long with Boston Brook fighting it now?
I mean, if Boston Brook rolled the same roll that he did last time, he might kill it.
Might.
Yes.
Alright, fine. So I don't know. Could my lighter do anything to this thing?
I mean, it isn't a demon, but it would still hurt, like do the basic fire damage.
Is it exhibiting magical energy? Because I know I can suck magical energy off of other things and use their I could take X's demonic energy and then use that as damage.
I mean, yeah, there's no mechanical difference, but that's
Well,
the
essentially,
flavor.
but still. Well, I mean, to a demon it would do double damage, but hey.
We already does double damage, and demons are immune to hellfire, by the way.
Well, yes, but this is holy fire.
Yes, that's why it does.
It's a mini conversion engine.
So yeah, he is the Avatar is like a quarter down from his health currently, a little bit more than that.
Okay, would it just be safer to stab or shoot? Like,
well, you could get into melee, but this thing is primarily a melee monster. You figure, with all the mouths
well,
and stuff.
then looks like I'm shooting it. So
Okay, make me that perception check.
oh baby, oh baby, that's a 10.
He's gonna dodge this. He's trying to. It's a disadvantage because he is cursed currently by X. Because he did not want to get critted. He passes actually. He got 2 5s.
Fuck.
So he
For
his
fuck's
shot,
sake.
Actually, that would be a double disadvantage because it's a ranged attack. So I would reroll.
Oh yep.
Even better than the last one.
Are you
2 10s
serious?
and a 6. 2 10s and a 6 he just rolled, so that's definitely a pass. So you and this shot actually do roll damage because you hit the wall behind him instead. That's blocking the
Oh,
doorway.
for fuck's sake. This is 3D100, correct?
Yes. So you could open up part of the wall.
That is a 30, a 90, and a 100.
220, I think. So that is pretty good. I'm gonna make a counter for the. So you miss him, but you hit the wall of earth that's blocking you from getting to the vampire guy.
Objective failed successfully?
Yeah. So you do a little bit of damage to the wall, which is always good. We'll put this on top of the wall, make it tiny. And then we make it like brown. And then we freeze it. Alright. So that's your first action.
Alright. I'll reload.
Alright. You reload. Second action. End of your turn. That's bad for you. After you. It is the Avatar's turn. Does he think that Boston Brook definitely is a bigger threat to him, and I'm pretty sure he's smart enough to know that. What is his intelligence? Because this will change whether or not he's smart enough to threat assess. Yeah, he's good. He's 3. He's sentient, He's retarded, but he's sentient. So he does know that Boston Brook is a bigger threat, and he doesn't want to run away because he'll take an attack of opportunity, and then promptly be cleaved in twain. So instead,
he will be cleaved in twain anyway.
Yeah, so he will. Do I think? Is he gonna be? Well, he can't get through anyway. No. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna stand and fight. He's going
Oh, good.
to. So I was gonna have him like he's a smoke cloud ability. Like let him run away, and I'm like, nah, he's a big boy. I think he can still win. So its first action is going to be.
Did Boston Brook actually stab him?
No, not yet. He just ran up to him. He's going to tail swipe Battlecock and then try to bite Boston Brook. So the tail swipe, Battlecock, I'm pretty sure can dodge this because he hasn't used any reactions.
Well, yes.
Does Battlecock dodge? He does. And then the bite attack against Boston Brook. This is Boston Brook needs to make 1d10 plus his strength versus this guy's 1d10 plus his agility. So Boston Brook has a strength of 7, so he's just as fast as this guy is. Unfortunately, the Croc Man rolled twice as high. So he does bite Boston Brook. This does 1d12 times 10 damage, ignoring armor of 3 and below. So Boston Brook will survive this, but he will be definitely mashed up. He has like 500 HP, I think, right now. Yeah.
With his sword out?
Yeah, when he holds his sword, he has 500 HP, which is pretty ridiculous for a human.
Yeah.
So he does take a little bit of damage here. He takes 80 damage. I will make another counter to keep track of Boston Brook's empowered health. So he's down to 420. Nice. I'll make this a nice gold color. Sure, Boston. Boston Brook's health. Max is 500, and then we make it a little bit tinier. And then we will move it up. Okay. All right. So he takes a little bit of damage there, not a lot. As this. So you watch from across the room as this Avatar guy grabs Boston Brook by the shoulders and just slams his open jaws down on Boston Brook's like shoulder and neck and just rip a chunk out of Boston Brook's like shoulder, basically. And Boston Brook is like, argh,
Screams in British.
Yeah. Yeah, but Boston Brook is alright. I mean, that definitely hurt. That would have killed a normal person. But, it's Boston Brook. You can take it. So that's the Avatar's turn. Up next is Boston Brook's. Actually, Boston Brook could have countered that melee attack. He's going to do that. He
could have.
He's going to use one of his reactions to full counter this Avatar, which means that the Avatar needs to make use up his second reaction. Actually, no. He hasn't reacted because he dodged your gunshot, so he can't dodge this. He just gets stabbed by Boston Brook's sword.
Good.
So
hit him.
5d100 damage that he cannot avoid.
Do it.
So that is 310 damage.
Ooh.
That's pretty good. He's taken 600 damage. He's officially bloodied.
That's a big fat oof.
Yeah, so this guy he slams his jaws down, bites down on Boston Brook's neck, and you see that Boston Brook he looks over his shoulder at you, JVH, and he smiles, covered in blood, and he winks, and you just see the Avatar go like, "Ugh!" and like tense up, and you see Bosterbrook's sword poke out through the Avatar's back as he let himself get hit so we can stab him. You know, like Deadpool combat style. He just grins at you and then
Ah,
slams the
yes,
sword through.
The Machiavellian counter stab technique,
Yeah, yeah. And the Avatar like
allowing yourself to get stabbed to stab the enemy in return.
exactly. Uh, so that's that. Uh, yeah, Avatar Man gets stabbed, and then your boy Foxbrook wrenches his blade out. Oh, is this the man?
Oh
The
yeah.
wrong man. This is the wrong. You aren't the one I was expecting.
What can I say? It's special. What can I say?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing in these neck of the woods?
Well, I'm not doing yard work because my friend's here and my dad's cooking, so I took the opportunity to join.
How convenient. Well, you're not even here right now. So.
Oh, okay. Goodbye.
Sure.
Uh,
Sure.
Where's my off-brand character?
There's your off-brand character. Both of them are here. You can roll initiative
So-
if you want to be involved.
Sure.
But
What's
it's
this?
pretty much over.
Well, the first part of it is over. Yeah, the first phase.
The first phase of the 15th phase mission.
Yeah, of the massive super dungeon crawl. Actually, this is an 800-room dungeon.
The first part in a 2-part series.
That's crazy, bro. Okay. Anyway, so.
This is Act 3. You've just joined Act 3. Congratulations.
Sick. I'm so glad.
You have to
I
watch
got
the
7.
first 45 minutes of this episode
I
when it
got-
comes out for you to see what happened.
Oh, I see. I'm so sorry.
You'll just have to listen like the rest of the viewers.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, 7
yep.
to the 15 initiative. I don't know why that appeared over there. Whatever though.
Still only rolling 15s over here.
Yeah, really. There's 3 15s in this one
In
combat.
a row.
You rolled the same thing last time, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah.
For initiative. So you go with Battlecock and GVH. So you go before both of them because your agility is higher than theirs.
Cool.
Whose turn is it? Boston Brooks. That's right.
He just
So-
did his Machiavellian counter stab.
Yeah. So the fairies, you were just like chilling in one of the other hallways, and you walk down. And you're like, oh, there's a fight going on. And right as you see Boston Brook get bitten in the neck by a giant crocodile humanoid, and Boston Brook looks over his shoulder at JVH, grins, winks, and then stabs the monster as a reaction. I'm pretty sure Boston Brook is now grappled because he got bitten by a croc.
But so is the croc.
Yeah, the croc's also therefore stuck in melee range.
Is that croc with 1,000 mouths?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the Avatar is his name. Avatar of Cipactli. So, Boston Brook is grappled.
Aang is his
yeah,
last
Aang
name.
Aang is grappling
is his
Boston
name.
Brook with his jaws. So Boston Brook, he's been bitten, took 80 damage, unperturbed. He's got 420 more. So he's going to just... I mean, he could attack 6 times, but he's not going to, because he doesn't need to. He's going to attack 3 times with his sword. This is a new combat round for the Avatar. Actually, no, it is. So he gets his reactions back, but he reacts at double disadvantage. 1 disadvantage because of X's curse, which is coming in clutch now, and then the second one is because he's grappled to Boston Brook. So double disadvantage. He might still pass, so we'll see. Nope, he passes the first dodge. He
Sick.
fails the second one. So he's hit twice. That's still 10 D100 damage.
So wait, it's dealing 10 D100?
No,
or it's
Boston Brook is
receiving 10
dealing. Yeah,
D100?
he's receiving 10 D100.
Okay, good.
That's 680 damage. He's dead.
Oh,
So Buster Brook, he Machiavellian, stabs
counter
this
stab.
counter attacks this crocodile man, and then he wrenches rather than wrench the sword out, he twists the sword, and then he like cuts the sword out the thing's side, and that's his first attack. And then his second attack is to just stab the thing again in the chest, and then wrench the sword up all the way through the thing's head. Just and he bisects this avatar. He is no longer. I should regenerate too. How much does he regenerate? 1d8 times 10. He'd be back to full health. He is perfectly. I know he's not.
Oh, sick.
He's 460 out of 480. He's almost back to full health. So he kills this thing, and then you guys see as his wounds through his torn shirt and jacket begin to sew back together a little bit. That's Boston Brook's first action. Second action, walk up to wall.
Bisect wall.
We can't do it in all in one action. But so next turn he will bisect wall. In that case, top of the turn order. That avatar is dead. The arrow is dead. There are no more enemies besides the wall and the vampire priest is in this other room.
It was a vampire priest? Is that woman-looking thing? Or man-looking thing?
Yeah, in the headdress, yeah.
Man.
Is that a woman? No.
No, it's a man.
Oh, it's a woman.
Bro, Nix is gonna walk in and be like, it's a woman?
Is woman?
Alright, so what about this wall? What's
So in the very
What do I gotta
beginning
do
of
about
combat, the vampire priest booked it into the other room and then made a wall of earth to close the doorway behind him.
Mhm.
So you guys have to get through the wall in order to get to him in the pit.
Does anyone got any ideas for this wall?
Well, I was just gonna let either you or Boston Brook deal with it.
I mean,
Well, what can I do
can't
to
really
deal
do
with it?
I can't really do anything against it.
well, you can just shoot it. It is a wall.
This is true, but like, but Boston Brook has a sword that can cut through this wall with efficiency.
Okay, so you
He
always want to
is
hold your
My
actions
dog-
until he.
Hold on, I need to
It's
see.
wall.
Is my dog barking coming up on the mic?
Occasionally,
Kinda,
yeah.
Ugh. Looks like I gotta put her down.
Get the
The
shotgun.
rail lock.
Get the shotgun, Billy.
Okay. Let me change my sensitivity again.
To get this guy back because there will be more avatars to fight.
I have auto sensitivity. That's probably why. There we go. Alright, anyways. So, yeah, I don't think I can do anything with this wall, like at all.
Yeah, Boston Brook can though.
So
Alright,
you
so
want to hold your actions
Yuna,
until Boston Brook cuts through the wall.
so
Disposes of the wall? Yes, please.
Okay.
oh, Yuano is great. I think Yuna is gonna be in her cage, be like, "Am I gonna get my bow now?"
No.
No,
Wow.
you do not.
Are you going to pledge loyalty to the to the company?
I still got this bomb collar. What do you think?
That's not loyalty.
I don't know. That sounds like loyalty.
That's not fealty.
That's
These
what?
are not what we are demanding of you.
Clang, clang, clang as Boston Brook is cutting through this wall in the background.
How the fuck? What?
So he
Your
does.
fealty has not been pledged. You must
Fealty?
prove yourself. Yes.
Alrighty, so
I don't know fealties.
you guys wait
Okay.
like a couple of rounds, and Boston Brook does.
Basically devotion.
Ah, okay.
He does cleave through this stone wall. Battlecock's damage reduction would be, I'll say, on its last legs. Yeah, one turn left. So for top of turn order, that would be not the arrow. He's not here anymore. Ironically, the vampire priest. Great. So the priest,
No, wait, we held action.
well, you just past your turns.
We just passed our turns.
Yeah.
We didn't say
Oh.
anything for holding action. Like,
Fuck.
there's nothing I can do without the bow. That's why I asked for it.
Yeah. Let's see.
But Nyx can do things without your bow.
Nyx can't do things without a bow either. Like, she's all melee,
Yeah,
and
she's melee. She has,
none
like,
of
some
none of,
spells.
none of the spells would damage them because they're not at the threshold of the damaging spell.
Yeah. What is the range? 60 feet. Okay. This would be pretty funny if it works. So so Buster cuts through this wall. He turns around. He's at full health, by the way, because he would have regenerated in that round. Actually, I'll roll for it. So there's only one combat round. Yep, he's good. He's back to full health. So you're all tip top shape. He gets to the wall. He turns over his shoulder at you guys, and he's like, "All right, everyone, where?" And you see the priest across the pit. He has his arm extended, and he's chanting, and he's waving his arms around, you know, mecca hi ni ho, and a sinkhole appears under Boston Brooks' feet.
See, this is the only thing that sucks is I can't counterspell any of these.
You could counterspell this if you were within range. Are you within range?
I'd be standing right by Boston Brooks, so yes.
Counterspell within 30 feet of the user. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You are within range of... Is it the target or of... Wait, target... So you have to be within 30 feet of the caster, which you are not. So you cannot counterspell him. If you're closer, you can counterspell him. Once you get into the room, you can counterspell him when he casts a spell.
Well, I'm currently above a sinkhole right now, so...
Well, no, Boston Brook is.
I'm right
he's
next to
targeting
Boston Brook. No?
No, you're back in the hallway, so you're across the room from him.
Oh, no.
Where is... So, I need to... Let's see. Vampire Priest Sinkhole spell. Dragging one's hands downwards with magical exclamation, the user targets a 1 square 5-foot space within 12 square 60 feet of the user currently occupied by an enemy and causes the ground to fall away, instantly creating a 4 square deep 20-foot deep hole into which the target falls. Must make an agility check of -1 or suffer 1d6 times 10 falling damage. That is not enough damage. That should be like 2d6. Endurance check determines success. Alright, so I have to roll for him. See if he can pull it off. He does barely, but he does. So then Rothman has to make a agility check at -1. He is roided out, Boston Brook. He got an 8, which is a 7. He passes. So he does still fall, but he doesn't take the damage. So he is currently 20 feet underground in the pit. So yeah, so Boston Brook, he turns around, guys, and he's like, "All right, gentlemen, we're good." He falls into this pit.
Well, that's unfortunate.
He just like grab the walls and stuff, so he's not, he's not harmed by the fall, but he is 20 feet deep. That's the priest's first action. That is not a concentration. His second action will be he'll just yell into the pit a little bit. Do some chanting. You guys do also see 2 gator pedes on opposite sides of the pit that have crawled along the walls and are starting to make their way onto the platform, the walkway.
Of course.
Initiative for them. They got a 5 plus whatever their agility is. 5 plus 7. That's a 12. Sure. Whatever. Initiative counter is busted. Yeah, super scuffed. I'll have to piece this around in between. So actually, I will totally get rid of it. And then I will get a new note card. So just to reiterate, fairies got 15, battlecock got 15, and then JVH also got a 15. Boston Brook had a 9. Who am I missing? X. He had a 13, I'm pretty sure. Boston Brook got a 9. Avatar had a 10. The Priest got a 16. Then we need Gatorpede. Arrows. Gatorpede got a 12. I think that's everybody. Yes. Okay. So, in that case, Priest just went. Gabe's got 12. It is then the fairies. Yeah. Fairies are not here. Great. Deceased.
Oh, sick.
In that case,
I'm here. I'm looking
wow.
at my
Well,
spells.
cringe.
Wow.
So both of your fairies are all the way back here. So they are a ways away. You can fly, so that doesn't really make much of a difference.
I can fly. That's crazy. Hmm. Um. Hmm. Hey, JVH.
Hey, what?
You got anything that will cause an enemy to make an endurance check?
Do I?
I need to know before I do this.
I'm actually not sure. Let me check. All right. Let's see here. You said that requires them to make an endurance check?
Yes. And I know stuff I have. I'm just wondering if you have any stuff that will require it.
Hmm.
Or
Uh,
agility, strength, intelligence. Those as well. Just wondering.
well, I can shoot, and then, you know,
Okay, yes.
it can require them to make an agility check.
Okay, what about Boston Brook? Does he have anything that requires agility, strength, intelligence, or endurance?
Agility, strength, intelligence, or endurance to
Just to
make the
see if
enemy do it.
Okay.
yeah, make an enemy do a check. That's what I'm wondering.
Okay, I can if we can bait him into casting a spell at me, I can counter spell, and that requires him to make an endurance check.
Beautiful. Okay. So, odd question. How close is that priest? I'm really far. Holy shit.
Yeah, you are really far. I can.
You are.
Holy shit. Okay.
Um.
Oh
What's
god.
Oh
1, 2,
no, no,
3,
no, 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 no!
4, 5,
I
6,
have a disarming spell.
12, 13, 14, 15. So he's like 17 squares, which is like almost
Which is
100
like
feet. So 75 feet
yeah.
away, or something like that.
So
Oh no! No wait,
she,
hold on. I have Martyr's Grasp.
Is that
I don't know what that does.
is that a
That's
champion
something.
ability or is that?
No, that is just a regular me ability.
What does it do?
Um.
Yeah.
What it does is stretch a hand towards a target within 12 squares, 60 feet, and force them to make an endurance check at a -2, or be dragged by an unseen force to the user's hand. At which point the target is grappled and can make a contested strength check plus strength stat number versus user strength check plus stat number. At the end of each of their successive combat turns to break free. Only works on creatures of medium size or smaller. Requires no check to determine success. Cooldown of 4 combat turns.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
very much like to use that.
Okay, cool. Well,
Are you within
before
12 feet?
anything, I have to fly though. What ground is solid that I can stay on? Because I don't think I can stay afloat while flying.
I mean, all the ground is solid except for the square that Bosterbrook is currently standing on, and the pit.
So I have a quick question.
Sure.
Can I give Yuna her bow?
I will say, yeah, it's tiny enough. Free action. You can just toss it to Nyx.
All right, I will do such.
Oh, sick.
Whose turn is it right now?
My turn, which
Yeah,
is also
Nyx.
Yuna's turn.
Yeah.
You want me
All
to just
right,
like
well,
pass by you or something? Is
yeah,
that a
get your
thing
bow.
we
You will
can do?
anyway.
Well, what
Okay.
are you trying to do? Because
Well,
when I use Martyr's Grasp, he's going to wind up in my grip,
Well, he's too far
which
away
is
currently,
what's
but
which
that
is
again?
going
if
to
you move
force
up.
him. It's going to force him into an endurance check.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. Well, if you give Eunice her bow, that gives her a lot of availability as well. So,
So
I'll
go with your original thing where I force him into an endurance check, and then you do your thing after I force him into it, because he's already got that endurance check at a -2.
well, hey, let me
And
do
he's
my
better.
endurance. Let me do my thing first. That
Okay,
way,
yeah.
he'll fail. He has to fail. Well,
Okay. All right,
okay.
sick.
If he fails the first thing, he'll fail harder. Okay. Anyways, but I have to get close off first. So how far can I go with flying? I know it says only
Is it one time or two
it's one
times?
time.
One time so
It's
you can
this
get
one
to
is one time.
1, 2,
So I can go 8
3, 4,
squares.
5, 6, 7. So you can get to here.
Will I be floating? Like, is that a
If you want to
thing
be,
or
yeah.
no?
Code, I
Okay.
hate you.
And he's how many? Is he within 60 feet of me now?
4, 5, 6, 7,
No.
8. 60 feet? Yes, he is.
Oh, he is.
He is
Okay.
45 feet away from you.
How far is he
Okay.
from me?
He's over 100.
He's
I think.
over 60 from you. Easy.
Okay.
All right.
So
All right, so I know.
with that, can I make cancerous bone growth at him?
Oh my
You're
gosh.
gonna give this man cancer. Okay.
Yeah.
Choose a radius 12 square, cause their bones to begin growing at an exponential rate, converting their muscle and tissue to more bone, petrifying them. Target must make
Oh
an
my
endurance check
gosh.
at -2 because they're grappled and restrained. If they fail the first check, they must make an endurance check at -disadvantage to begin the next turn, or they're petrified and turn into a statue made of bone. This could be devastating because he is an undead, and while he lacks things like blood and stuff, he has bones.
Has bone.
So he needs to make
Everybody's got bones.
yeah, it's gonna make it just -2. He does have, I will say, very high endurance because he is a spellcaster. So he needs to get with the -2. He needs to get a 6 or higher. So like a 7 or higher, really, to pass.
Oh fuck!
You got
I
a 10.
did it in the wrong. I did it in the wrong order. Oh well, that
Well, do we?
that
You
doesn't
can.
matter.
I can. We can. If you want to do something different, why just use the same roll for it?
I accidentally read incorrectly because I was trying to focus on something else. What I need to do first is skeleton surgery. Actually,
Ah, okay.
yeah,
So it's just a bone target.
and I
Breaking
need to
it.
take out his rib.
Ah, okay. So
Oh.
this requires an endurance check from you.
I got a 10.
Okay. So it deals 1d4 times 10 damage. So you do that.
40.
Okay. And his endurance is lowered by -2, plus the minus. So he has this endurance of 6 currently, plus the -2 from the spell. Means
No,
that he needs to get
that
6 or
can't
higher.
go yet. That can't go yet. I have to wait until the next turn because
Oh yeah, because you flew.
movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I have to pick which one I do first.
Ah, okay. So his endurance is currently. I
You
will
have to
note
make
that
it
down.
be on both things. Oh my goodness.
Endurance is.
Yeah, so that goes first. And if you did allow Yuna to get her bow while I was passing JVH,
Yes,
um,
I did.
then I'll have her shoot like through the crack because you didn't do curse bow yet. Can't wait until that era. I will have her shoot. How far does this go? It's just perception.
The tiny.
You didn't give a
bow?
distance.
I didn't give a distance.
Yeah.
That's probably because I was like, well, she's tiny, and bow ranges are weird. I will just say 30 feet because she is really
Okay,
tiny.
so not close enough. But if
no.
that's the case, she will try to do sleep
Okay.
on how many targets? Only one
Yeah, only
sleeping
one.
person. Okay.
Yeah.
So she'll do sleep on the vampire. Also, now that I've seen this, are those crocs in the pit or like out of the pit?
They are clinging to the walls of the pit. They're just really big. But
They're
clinging
gator
to the walls.
beasts. Oh,
yeah, they're gator
no.
beasts. And there was more monsters down there too, but you can't see them yet.
It's okay. Anyway, so yeah,
we'll
I'll do
sleep.
sleep.
More horrors to behold.
Yeah.
We'll do sleep on
The priest.
him.
So it's a disadvantage endurance check, and he has some penalty because one of his ribs is missing. Well, you've broken them. He got a 2. That definitely a 10 and a 2. Wow, that definitely fails.
Wow.
So he is actually asleep. Huh.
For how many hours though?
Well, you roll 1d6.
Oh, I roll? I thought you rolled.
It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
Yeah,
You're right.
I'll get.
I got 3. He's asleep for 3
So until he
hours.
takes damage, he's asleep for 3 hours.
You want to know his great cancerous bone growth doesn't do damage?
Yeah, it doesn't. Which would be
That's great.
interesting.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
It doesn't do damage. Yeah.
I never even noticed that synergy with those abilities. It's so powerful. Oh my god. That's so powerful. You could cut somebody's endurance stat in half. If it was a normal person, you could reduce their stat from 5 to 1 in one combat turn.
So wait, what's this guy's endurance now?
6.
Oh god!
So he'll take another -2 from cancerous bone growth during.
Yeah, when on your
And
next turn.
-2, and
Yeah,
the
plus the
-2
-2.
from my martyr's script. Oh
But
Yeah.
the
God.
question
He's
the
asleep.
question is though, he only has the -2 during the check.
Yes.
That's it.
So.
So he'll have the constant -2 from the rib.
Yeah.
Oh god!
Yeah. The
act-
-2 from the rib does not go away until he like regenerates it in like 24
yeah,
hours.
actually,
So.
or waiting 1d3 months. So
Yeah. But he gets regeneration,
3 months.
so that doesn't. His piece of regen will fix it in time, but not in this combat because he's pretty much dead. It's like that sleep
Yeah.
spell. I can't believe you found that. Oh, it's so cring.
I was reading. I was like, damn, what long range stuff do I have? I have sleep and whatnot. Then I was going into the bone stuff. I was like, I could have sworn I remember seeing something about like messing with someone's bones.
God,
But I
that's
found
so
that instead.
powerful. I didn't even realize that I gave you that powerful synergy, man. Dang, that's good though. I like that.
Don't worry. There's a lot. There's other stuff that I want to try out too.
So Kyle is just our proc chain.
Yes.
Basically, yeah. He could just
Funny
build
enough,
off of his own
too.
Stuff.
Other funny too. I also have a type of grapple ability like you, which is called grip from below.
Yeah.
That's
that holds
pretty
him in
sick.
place. Yeah, that's just, it literally like it causes like skeletal arms to grow out of the ground and grab people. Pretty
Sick.
metal. Anyway, that's the fairy's turn. Up next is GVH.
All right, Martyr's Grasp.
On
Let's get it.
the vampire.
Yeah.
Okay, let me find that
he
spell now.
pretty much has no chance.
Yeah, he gets his advantage for being asleep, and the -2 from the rib thing. And does your spell
the
have
-2?
additional? Oh
yeah,
my
it
God.
has it incurs a
Jesus.
-2.
So his endurance he has to roll a 7 or higher at disadvantage to not die. He got a 2.
Okay, so wait, what did he do?
He rolled a 2. So he got a 0, effectively.
Essentially,
So okay.
he got -2.
Actually, are you in range? It's 60 feet. So you gotta
Well,
move,
I'll
you gotta
move
move.
first.
Did you move yet?
I'll
Yeah,
move
that's what I was
forward
gonna say.
and then cast.
What's your agility? Agility's 5. So you can get here. You can get behind Boston Brook. He's not really here because he's in a pit.
In a pit, yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
this one's
7,
my
8, 9. Yeah, you're in range. Okay.
Oh.
Wanted to double check. He only 50
Yes.
feet away. So you extend your arm out And what do you say to summon this guy?
Get over here.
Of course, I knew you were gonna say that. So you just get over here, and this sleeping guy's body just lying there on the ground, shoo shoo, and then all of a sudden just rockets across the room. He just and he's now technically in Boston Brook Square, but you now have him hovering over a 20-foot gap.
I just realized.
Is Boston Brook at the? Oh my god!
Wait. I just realized. Nyx is floating next to the guy, while Boston Brook is under the guy, while
Yeah.
JVH is in front of the guy.
So JVH, you're holding this guy by like the front of his tunic, suspending him over a 20-foot drop into a Boston Brook pit with a floating bunch of fairies next to him. This poor guy, man. He's having a rough time.
And he lost his rib too, man.
Yeah, his ribs are broken. He's asleep.
So
Still.
can I coup de grace this guy?
No, but
I don't think his health is that low, but you can do a lot of
Oh,
damage
no.
if you want.
yeah. you can
Because
do
I was
damage.
gonna
He's
say
asleep
I
still.
have a sword that will do double damage to him.
Yeah, so you can stab him if you want.
I would love to stab him.
Okay, you can stab him 3 times in one action because it's a rapier.
Yes,
And he
please.
can't die because he's unconscious. So
and
Isn't
in
that-
my grasp.
Wait, hold on. Isn't that your turn already?
oh yeah, because you moved and you martyr's
Oh
grasp.
yeah, that's
true.
right.
Man,
That's
this man
right.
was about
I'll
to.
I'll stab
Look.
him
I
next
felt
turn.
bad for this man. All right, he was
Yeah, I was
about to
like-
like do
I
all
was
this
gonna-
stuff.
I'm so done. I'm like, nah, it's fine. get 3 actions.
There's really no way he can get out of this. He's asleep for 3 hours.
Until it takes
Well,
damage.
that's the thing though. Like,
yeah. Once
he's
you
not
deal
gonna
damage,
take-
He'll wake up again.
yeah.
If he survives, which you probably won't, but if he survives,
If we wait long enough, by the way, he'll wake up again. But I can take another
Just
one of his type of bones. Like I could take part of his skull or his radius or his
if you
femur.
take more than like 4, whatever, they die instantly.
I only have 4 targets, by the way.
I think we had like 5. I don't know. I could be wrong. Let me
No,
think.
you gave me 4.
Alrighty. So. Okay, that's JVH's turn. Up next is
Yeah,
Battlecock.
I am very much so going to hold him here and then stab him. So the only
you
real
should drop him
threat.
into the Boston Brook pit. Let Boston Brook. Like,
Hell
Tasmanian
no!
devil
I'll stab him first and then drop him. I want a piece.
6. So Battlecock, he is the martial artist still. So he runs underneath the fairies, and he will. This has been 3 combat turns, so he could. Bicycle kick.
Just the tiny dragon.
That comes off cooldown, I think, next turn.
Oh.
Let me look. The cooldown. I think it was. I don't know if it's 3 or not. Yeah, that'll come off next turn. So we're gonna bicycle kick this Gatorpede, who can only die to 1 because they're
Which
dumb.
we know is effective.
So yeah, so he does 3 attacks because he dodges 1 of them. So that's 3d8 times 10. That is total of 140 damage. It's 3 armor checks. He passes only 1 of them, so he takes. He passed that one, so he takes 90 damage. It's Battlecock's turn. So he runs up and he kicks this Gatorpede in the face as he's trying to climb out of the pit. Next is be unconscious. It is X. He will move 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could kill steal and actually he could pick
Pick 6.
He could pick 6 the vampire do double damage because it's fire.
Please don't.
He gets done undead.
I want this. I want this.
What other fun spells does X have? Because his concentration on curse dropped because the avatar died. So he has a free concentration.
Does he have the range to attack the gator peas? Like, do babbling idiot out the gator
The
peas?
babbling midget.
Oh, he can babbling
Babbling
midget somebody? Okay, he'll babbling midget
He
somebody.
could babbling midget the gator peeds.
Does that do damage?
It lowers their max health, I'm pretty sure. So pretty much, but not
dude.
really.
And it turns them into a midget.
Yeah, it turns them
So
into a midget.
I'd assume so.
What?
This
That's what it
is
does? I didn't read
deformation
that.
Yes,
spell.
it literally turns
Yeah,
them
so
into a
It's
midget.
literally
Crazy.
deformation spell. Turn a target into a babbling midget. And yes,
Wow.
they have a stat of 1 to 2 for every single stat, and reduces their max health to 30. This requires an intelligence check to determine success. The target remains a midget unless the spell is reversed or the user loses concentration within 24 hours. So if he maintains this spell for 24 hours or longer, then it becomes permanent. It's like true polymorph. So he could just turn somebody into a midget forever, which would be pretty funny to like prank somebody with. So he's okay. He wants to turn one of the gator peats into a midget. He'll turn the one that isn't being attacked by a battlecock into a midget, just to keep the DPS down. Actually, if he makes the one that battlecock is fighting into a midget, then this gator peat has to waste an action walking into range. So I'm gonna metagame like X would. Make him proud. So he's going to
Make him proud.
turn this guy into a midget. Requires an intelligence check from X. Pass. Now I get to use the babbling midget. Finally, after all this time.
Finally. The time has come.
There he is.
The true calling.
The babbling midget. There he is. Right next to Battlecock.
Wow.
So X
Yes.
extends a hand out towards this gatorpede, and he's like, "Leave my chicken alone!" And he begins in a poop of fairy dust. The giant gatorpede turns into a tiny-sized babbling midget. Does this also mean that the midget could ride Battlecock like a mount if he wanted to, but they're still enemies, so.
Friend or foe?
Yeah, friend or foe. That's X's turn. Up next is the gatorpede. And the midget, I guess, by extension. Midget can do nothing, so he will do nothing. Gatorpede. Bum, 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 bum,
The
bum,
midget can do nothing, so he will do nothing.
Yeah. Battlecock no longer has his damage reduction, which is horrible. He could die right now.
Oh no.
God.
Where is Gatorpede? Gatorpede. He will try to consume Battlecock. Battlecock can dodge. When I find his sheet, I'm pretty sure he has like peak human reflexes. He should be fine. He doesn't, but he can still make one dodge, so it's still fine. Please don't fail this, Battlecock, because you might die. He doesn't. He got an 8. Great.
Oh, I saw that.
Good.
I was so worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
saw it. I was like, oh.
No, so the gatorpede, he kind of like climbs along the wall a little bit halfway, because he's really long. So he kind of climbs around towards Battlecock, and he goes to snap at him. Battlecock kind of flaps his wings a little bit and avoids the snapping jaws. Up next is the Avatar, who appears out of the pit. That's his whole turn. Now it is Boston Brooks' turn. He's in the pit, so kind
Have
of.
him climb out of the pit.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, he
kinda
said he was
killing his
20
vibe.
feet. He said he was 20 feet down, so.
Yeah, so
This is true.
He could have. Well, he's under life influence, so spells are kind of beyond him right now. So he's going to cast Find a Staircase. No, they're pretty fun.
You probably.
He probably could. Let's see. Does he have anything? No, he doesn't have teleport or anything like that. So he's just going to use his movement, an action of movement with an agility check, to climb out of the pit. He does. Master Book, so GBH, you summon this guy to your arm, dangling him over this pit, and then from down below you hear, and you just look down and you see Master Book is using his sword as like a python, and he's jamming it into the wall and then climbing with the sword, like a weird old man animal, just like skittering up the wall with his sword.
If I wasn't on the same side as him, that'd be kind of scary.
Yeah, and he full
The
on
old
climbs
man.
out of this pit, just and he climbs out, and also he climbs out in a different square. So you're still dangling the vampire over the pit, but Fosterbook is now in melee with the Gatorpede. So if only one action, Fosterbook scrambles up this wall. He gets out of the pit. He sees the Gatorpede attacking Battlecock right there. He's just gonna slash away. Gatorpede can attempt to dodge one of these swipes. He doesn't. This is 15 D100.
15 D100 against who again?
The Gatorpede.
Against the Gatorpede.
Jesus Christ.
Because Bostenbrook can attack 3 times, each one 5D100. If he survives this, he won't. He won't.
He won't.
He won't. Oh yeah, that is easy. 790 damage. I think that kills him.
Just automatically turns over.
And mush.
Jesus.
Let me. Yeah. So yeah. He has 750 health. He did more than that in a single action. He leaps out of the pit. Yeah, he leaps out of the pit. He comes down and stabs the Gatorpede through the back into the ground. The Gatorpede's like, and then he just kind of like wrenches the sword out of the Gatorpede and he sort of cuts the thing in half. And then the back half falls back into the pit, and the rear half is just like.
So that's the sound we're going with for
the Gatorpede dying.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, bro. You know how it is.
Okay.
So yeah, that's Bosterbook's turn. One shot one of my mini boss enemies. That's why you notice this is the first combat where he's used the sword.
It's kind of your fault there, bud. It's kind of your fault there, bud, for making that.
What can I say? What can I say?
You know,
it's just Bostenbrook things, you know.
Yeah, it's just business.
And he doesn't use the sword in every combat, only if he feels he has to. And he felt he had to in this combat, which he did. Or Battlecock would definitely be dead.
That is true. That is a very fair point.
He had to save Battlecock, all right? It was a worthy adverse. It was a worthy sacrifice.
It was a worthy sacrifice, yes.
Exactly. So that's Bastenbrack's turn. Back up time turn order. Bastenbrack. It is the priest's turn. He's asleep. Next turn. It is the fairy's turn.
Alright,
there is
so
a babbling midget, a vampire priest who's currently asleep,
and
an avatar.
I can't KS. Like, all of you do more damage than me. It would be impossible for me to KS.
Don't KS, please.
Alright, well, you better kill him before he turns petrified, that is.
This is true. It will happen. My next. It is literally my turn next.
So Nyx is gonna like put her hand in front of her face and then stretch out and point towards the vampire that's right next to her, and then like close her hand and cancerous bone growth. You know.
Okay.
Does that mean I don't get the chance to kill him?
No, you can. Just kill him before he becomes petrified, or else I'm counting it as my kill.
Oh, that is true. That is true. That is a very good ultimatum. All right.
Make an endurance check at -2, so disadvantage, and at a -2, and he only has less endurance because his ribs are gone.
So -4.
You got a 1. You get a -1.
He got a
Technically, rolling a nat 1 means he instantly petrifies. But I will be kind. I'll say that he doesn't auto-petrify.
Hey.
But he is considered grappled and restrained. So JBH, you're holding this guy, and you see he's asleep, and you just see that like his eyelids like seals shut with like plates of bone. His mouth seals shut. His body begins to like contort as the skin gets like broken and
Ugh.
bulged out as the bone begins to grow over like his muscles are being replaced with bone basically.
Oh God.
So he's considered restrained and grappled because his movement is heavily restricted, but he's unconscious anyway, so it doesn't matter.
He literally cannot do anything.
Yeah. Even if he was awake, he couldn't do anything. So that's
And
that.
yeah, and I think after that, is it Babbling Midget like close to? No, I don't even think the Babbling Midget is in sight.
No.
So what's gonna happen is Nyx is going to move herself up next to Battlecock. Yeah, and then is he within 30 feet then?
The Avatar or the midget?
The midget.
Yeah, he's 10 feet from you.
All right, and what about the Avatar?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's just within 30 feet.
Ooh, okay. So I think at that point, Nyx will. Nyx is gonna try to put. Oh wait, no, that's never mind. That's the end of her turn.
Yeah. As you see his turn.
Yuna will shoot a paralyzing arrow at the babbling midget.
He's gonna bully the babbling midget, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
We're keeping it as a pet.
So
Actually, that would be
target
good
making
research
making
into
endurance
how
check.
the fuck babbling midget occurs.
I don't know.
So
I
you
don't know,
need to
maybe,
make
who
me
knows?
a perception check, Yuna, to hit the babbling midget.
That's a 10.
You hit him in the face. Great job. Okay. Disadvantage endurance check for him. You get a 2, it definitely fails. So he
He's
is
paralyzed
paralyzed.
for 6 rounds if he can even make it that many turns. And then I think after that, Yuna herself is gonna try to put the Avatar to sleep.
Okay.
Shh. Quiet. Sleep now, child.
What? Oh.
You're putting the gator pede to sleep.
Okay, so what is that a check for him or for you?
That's a check for him, the sleep spell.
The gator pede?
Yeah. That's a
Okay.
endurance check at disadvantage.
A disadvantage.
I realized I could have prevented a lot of this earlier.
Yeah, he's asleep too.
He's asleep.
Keep rolling 2s. Keep rolling 2s. What's his endurance? Hold on. I'm gonna check. He might pass. He doesn't. He hits the 7 and not a 3 and not an 8. God. He's asleep. Okay, roll 1d6 or 1d3 or whatever it is for sleep. 1d6.
1d6. Yes. 5 combat turns. Yeah, or is it hours? Hours.
Actually.
The only
Actually,
reason I
actually.
realized I could have prevented so much of this is because I have a spell called Speak No Evil.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't have been fun.
Okay.
You're right. You're right.
All right, so can the Avatar make himself not be put to sleep? Is that what you're checking, or?
No, I checked to see if he was gonna fall back into the pit. He doesn't. Luckily, he's still up there, but he's like because he was like clinging halfway on like the side of the wall. So I figured if he falls asleep, he might like let go and plummet back down. But no, his nails are too far in there. So even when he's unconscious, he's still like he's hanging there limply. He's still unconscious.
Okay.
Wow, this guy's restrained and grappled.
Just imagine you have like Yuna, the tiniest of this whole party, tinier than the midget, shoot a paralyzing arrow and then gesture sleep at an Avatar.
Yeah, this very uber powerful
Gesture
entity and just falls unconscious instantly. That's various turns. GBH.
Hey, stab time.
If you don't kill him in 3 combat turns, he does turn petrified. So keep that in mind.
I can stab him twice per turn, so I'm holding
times per
him,
turn,
and I'm
3.
literally 3 times.
3 times per action, 2 times per turn because it's 2 actions, so 6 times in total.
Oh yeah, so I'm just gonna stab him 6 times.
Okay. Roll whatever that damage is.
What's the damage for my rapier?
I think it's 1d8.
1d8 times 10 plus 20.
Plus 20 plus your bare hands damage times 2 because
sick.
of the.
So 1d8, right?
Yeah, plus your bare hand, which is 1d6. So 68 plus 66 plus 60 times 2.
68, you say?
Yeah, 68 plus
All right,
66.
hold on. I gotta find. I don't even know if I have 68. Where's all my d8s? This isn't one. No, I have them. Here's 2. So what I'll do is I'll roll 2 stabs at a time.
Mm.
How's that?
Okay, so that's 2d8
So
plus 2d6 plus
first 2,
20.
7 and a 3.
That's
So now you
100
need
plus 20.
2d6.
Well, but is that for the d8s you just rolled?
Yeah, I just rolled 7 and a 3 on the d8s.
Okay. And then the d6s,
Okay.
2 sixes.
4 and 1.
8, 4. Oh. And a 1. Okay. So that's plus 20 there. 130 damage. For the, I'm making my calculator out. 130 damage times 2, 260 plus 120. You've already dealt 380 damage to him.
Oh, sick.
He's not quite dead yet.
But
He's
he's
bloodied?
on his way.
He is bloodied, yeah.
Well, the next 2 stabs will surely remedy this.
If you don't kill him, I will kill Steel.
You
That
have 4
is
more attacks, so.
2 8s.
Dang. Okay. He's dead.
He's dead?
Guaranteed, yeah.
Oh, sick. All right. 2d6. 5 and a 3.
Okay. So 380 plus plus 80, so 8 plus 5 is 13. 130 times 260. So plus 260 plus 220. You just did 860 damage to this man.
Jeez, and that's in what, 4 stabs?
Yeah, so he is very dead.
He's very, very dead.
Yeah,
Good.
very dead.
Nice, nice, nice.
That is both your actions, because 4 attacks per
that.
action. But you do kill him. So yeah, so you had this guy held here, and you just prison shank him with your rapier. And,
Does he also
he's dead.
engulf in flames?
Yeah, yeah. So each stab, as you pull the sword out, like little like licks of white holy flame appear out of the wounds and begin to burn away at him.
Good. After he is sufficiently engulfed in flames and very dead, I will drop him down the pit
Okay.
that he opened up.
Yeah. So you just and then he smacks 20 feet into the bottom of the pit. That is JVH's turn. It's Battlecock's turn. Then he's gonna roll for it. He kills the midget. And then the avatar
kills the midget.
falls back into the pit and is gone. End of combat.
Subconsciously, tactically retreated.
Yeah, he was like, you know what? No, I'm good.
I didn't wake up ready for this today.
Well, he's asleep technically, but I just say that he falls into the pit. He's gone. He's like, you know what? Relax my body. I'm
So
going.
the bones of the babbling midget.
They do
Did
turn
they-
back into their original form when they die.
Oh,
isn't
dude.
permanent. Yeah, so
I'm
he is back to
telling
being
you.
a gator pede.
Nyx immediately just he takes all the bones.
Well, you would get one bone mass from the avatar, 1 bone mass from the 4 from both of the guys. That's 5 right there. You're not going for the vampire; he's in the pit. You're not going for a second avatar because he is in the pit. So you get 5 bone mass on top of. So that's your max. I'm pretty sure.
I think I expended possibly 1, so I'm either at 9 or 10. Because you never change the bone mass on the.
Oh yeah,
Page.
did either of the ones you used before?
I used exactly half a
good.
bone mass to make a dagger.
Yeah. So yeah, you're up to max. You
I mean,
you
yeah.
had 6.5 before you got an extra 5. So
Okay, so yeah, sick. Nyx feels good.
I'll go to Yuna and be like, all right, I'll be taking that back now.
That's when she
He
got less
hands
of
it
you?
back. No, she'll hand it back, but she'll be like, "See, told you I needed the bow."
I will say that there is now an earthquake going on. I should have forgot to mention
Oh,
that at the beginning of the combat, but the ground is shaking, and it is getting
Ah,
quite
fantastic.
vigorous. Like there are like rocks falling from the walls and the ceilings and stuff. Like it's like
all the adrenaline killed, and we're like, "Hey, is that an earthquake?"
yeah, like oh, the ground is moving.
We should probably leave.
I think Nyx is going to. Actually, does Nyx have teleport? Or she
Dive
only has
into the
teleport
pit.
to you.
Into
Yeah,
the-
Nyx is gonna just
into the maw.
straight leave. She'll leave, ditch, fly.
Yeah, I'll agree. Uh,
Alrighty.
not enough time to create a ceiling ward, but okay.
All right.
It'll do just fine. We'll leave. We'll leave. Let's get out of here, guys. Let's leave, gang.
Let's leave, gang. Cool. You leave. Yeah, you guys run out of the area, out of the temple. The walls are crumbling around, some are falling over. The people in the prison cells are gone, which is strange because those were locked when you first came in. And you're all, oh my god, quick! And you all, book it, and you all climb the staircase as rocks are falling and the stairs are breaking and falling at weird angles. The tunnel is like skewed in some places from where the ground has shifted. So you were all crawling through areas and little tunnels and stuff to get around. Eventually, after like a couple minutes, you do make it back out of the ziggurat, but the ground is still shaking very, very vigorously. And as you guys get out of the ziggurat, you realize that those two stone bridges and stuff that were crossing the ravine on the next to the ziggurat, they've broken and are sliding into the ravine. And the ziggurat is also sliding off its foundations and falling into the ravine.
That's not good.
So you guys get out of there, and you guys run to like the edge of the clearing, and you all watch as the whole man-made structure just it all collapses and into the ravine. At which point the ravine closes as the walls of it crumble into and fill up the big gash in the world. So it's not like a big dip in the ground where the ravine used to be, but it is now gone. And then the earthquake stops immediately.
Well, well, that's another eldritch horror avoided.
Buster sheaths his sword. So he's now back to
I'll
being
do
normal.
the same.
I think Nyx is gonna start like counting the bones she took from. She's gonna like slowly pull them out. Be like,
The tibia.
Yeah, the tibia. The
also, by the way, skeleton surgery is definitely super good for procking stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the point.
Holy shit,
It's very good.
that's just crazy.
Well, now you know you have a lot of synergy in the team. So.
Yeah. And Bosterbeck, after I read through his sheet, he has a ton of stuff that could have been useful, but he was using his sword, so he's too dumb to use spells, basically. He isn't, but he doesn't use spells when he's in his, knight form, because he's like, I have big sword. I use big sword to swipe, / kill. Which he did. Horribly, repeatedly. So you're all just standing in this clearing. You all see Ramon, and he pull up in his jeep, and he's like, "Are you guys all right? It's been that was the earthquake and stuff. Where did the ravine go? Where the building?"
It's a long story. We'll explain. We'll explain on the way back to town.
I'm like, do you want to go back to the town, or is your work done here?
Well, we have to get our stuff first, so.
Oh, that's true. All right, well, hop back in then, and he, opens the door to his jeep, beckons you all inside.
Sick nasty.
Alrighty, so you all drive a couple of hours, The sun is now for sure set. Like, it's nighttime now. And you all make it back to the town, back to the hotel. You get your stuff. You also get a phone call from on your satellite phone from McLafferty. So as soon as GBH
Hey,
has
what's
that
up?
on him. Yeah, so see
Schlafferty again?
your handler.
Ah.
The one with the weird robot arm and the anti-magic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yes.
So you pick up the phone and she's like, "What the heck is going on? We just clocked
Dude,
like
it's
a
fine.
whatever magnitude earthquake
Hey,
from all the way over
hey.
here."
Hey,
What?
it's literally fine.
She's like, "What? Are you guys all right? What happened? Let me,
Yeah,
fill me in."
we're all fine.
And then Eunice starts
Found a
going, "Oh, the children!
Found a
Orphanage!"
vampire. Well,
Mastermind's
see,
like, "Solve the mass
we had to
graves."
sacrifice. We had to sacrifice at least like 26 orphans, but it's
Oh
fine.
my
What are they gonna do?
God.
Tell their parents?
We need
And he's like, no, it's fine. We found a vampire priest, homicidal vampire priest, killed a homicidal vampire priest.
It's not like he's saying.
um, there were alligators, gatorpeds. I'm getting a new pair of shoes, and a pit closed. The end.
And she's like, "Well, so I guess your job is done then?"
Essentially, yes.
She's like, "Okay, well, yeah, sure, head on. I'll head back to the airport. I'll call my guy up, and you guys should be able to head on back to New Orleans."
Sick nasty.
Cool. So you guys hop into the Jeep again. You get your stuff from the hotel. You settle that debt. You only stay there for like a day or two, but you settle up the paycheck. You guys get back in the Jeep. You are driven back to the airport. You are put on a plane, and you are all shipped back across the Gulf of Mexico to the city of New Orleans, city of sin.
Nolans.
Yeah, Nolans. And you guys arrive at the airport in the private JPCU wing, where there's a whole separate airfield, like airstrip for it, because JPCU has so many vehicles going in and going out. So yeah, you guys pull into the private airport. You guys get a limousine to bring you back to the HQ. Back to the HQ. There you are received in the one of the loading docks. Una, Nyx, and X and Battlecock are brought back to their respective cells, given their food and stuff. Una is let out of her cell, out of her cylinder, and is given like a shared possession of the singular cell that Nyx lives in. So you have like really tiny furniture and also really big furniture. It's very strange. Also like a Jackson Pollock painting. But so you get that as your reward for good behavior.
No.
You guys
And
do also. I should note
cooperation.
that as like fairies. So the way that fairies work is fairies live off of glamour, which is like fairy dust, because they produce it, but they also need it to live, and they get that through like praise and stuff like that from like mortals. But because you guys are bone fairies, you guys survive by eating bone or teeth in Una's case. So you guys like get fed like animal bones and like animal teeth and stuff like that.
Do
Or
we
human
get
teeth.
fed prisoners to just feed off of?
Theoretically, you could, because GPC does have like death row
Death
inmates
row?
that do that, but they don't feed them to people. Before you were
On
assigned
the
on the
record,
team,
we don't feed them to
yeah,
to others.
they're always
on the
part
record.
of they're always part of experiments. So before you were assigned to the team and you first got arrested, they would have given you people to eat. But now that you're on the team, they expect you to be marginally more moral. So that is off the table, being sacrificed a bunch of people. But before, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you guys
I
are.
will give you a sentient cow.
A sentient cow.
Yes.
Yeah. So there is that. Yeah, X and goes back to his cell. Battlecock gets locked up in that giant security hallway with all those security measures to keep him contained.
Well, I mean, as X increases his usefulness to us, I think as they go, they can be like given less restrictions.
Yeah, of course.
So they don't need to bring him in on a hand truck anymore.
yeah. They just bring him in normally. Battlecock never brought in on a gurney because he is a good boy. Your spell slots all come back. Your key comes back in Battlecock's case.
Oh, yep.
Bosserbrook doesn't actually use spell slots because he's that good. Lamel. Battlecock used up a lot of his key that mission though. Down to like 9 or something. So yeah, that happens. Mission is over. You all, Bosserbrook and JVH run the debrief, write up your reports, and we fade to black.
All right. Well, what a rousing episode. If you guys liked it, let us know. And if you didn't, well, go fuck yourself. And we will see you in the next time on Quest for the Core.